because the sustainability in agriculture leads to environment, economy, and the people's lives. And we have been involved in various programs for the rural people to lead their activity of agriculture into sustainability. So as we take part in the global event of Commission on the Status of Women, CSW66, I would like to welcome all of you to take part in these events and contribute your thoughts and reflections. And as the theme suggests, to achieve gender equality and the employment of all women and girls in the context of climate change, environmental disaster, risk reduction, policies and programs. And this being the theme, we keep our focus on women who are working hard in achieving the sustainability in their programs. So to begin this program, I would like to invite you all to just have a moment of reflection that we are connected to each other, we are connected in the global scenario, and we are connected in the environment by the blessings of God Almighty. Let us keep our feet firm on the ground, and that ground we feel that connects each one of us with each other. And that is the energy that we pass to each one, and the universe resounds and vibrates with energy of human beings who make part of and work as co-creators in this creation of God Almighty. Let us spend a moment of silence, realizing that connectedness of each one of us. Yes, thank you so much. And we are here almost for 90 to 100 minutes today. And I would like to invite Saisuri to introduce the theme and introduce the agenda for today. Saisuri, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Everyone can hear me?
Yes, you can hear.
Good day, everyone. My name is Kukai Saisuri from Good Shepherd Sister, Thailand. I am so glad to be here with you and welcome you to CSW66 event, the Sustainable Agriculture. The Commission on the Status of Women, or CSW theme, is to achieve gender equality and the employment of all women and girls in the context of climate change, environmental and disaster risk reduction policies and programs. The linkage between gender equality and securing environmental sustainability. Today, we will be concerned about the impact of sustainable agriculture on food security and poverty reduction. The main focus is on the program to empower girls, women, and the community, especially the more vulnerable group, to have sustainable agriculture knowledge and practice, and to bring them to have a well-being life and a good quality of living. We focus on bringing awareness to the issue facing in the community and the impact of our program to change people's life by the implementation and the best practice of our projects. As you know, many girls and women in many countries might not be able to have the living, education, or status in the society. This includes the violence or oppression by the husband, their own family, and society as well. Many poor communities face the problem of food security and knowledge to cultivate or farm and have good food with nutrition for their children and family. This cause a lot of life impact and bring them face more problem in life. The concept of sustainable agriculture is many sectors, for example, child health development, food security in the community, income generating, cooperative, community empowerment, learning center, vocational development skill, and etc. Sustainable agriculture integrated three main goals: environmental health, economic profitability, and social equality. So this link to the system and the structure of the community and resources. Agriculture sustainability rests on the principle that we must meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Therefore, long-term stewardship of natural and human resources is equally important to short-term economic gain. Stewardship of land and natural resource involve maintaining or enhancing the quality of these resources and using them in ways that allow them to be regenerated of the future. Stewardship consideration must also address concern about animal welfare in farm enterprise that include livestock as well. The agenda today will start from the presentation of each country. Philippines, under the issue impact of sustainability, agriculture, achieve from survival to food security and poverty reduction by Amy Guardian. India, good practice in sustainable agriculture in rural India by Sister Netishia. And Thailand, impact of sustainable agriculture on economy and environment by myself as Gukai Saisuri. Then we will bring you to our panelists for the day, which will be led by Peter Lasrado from India. We are honored to have two guests today join our panel. They are Dr. Kabat Satapa, Sister Alabella Balingao, and Sister Sutisa Utalun. Now I will bring you to the presentation from the Philippines, and please welcoming Emmy Guardian. I give this time to Emmy.
Thank you, Kukay. Good morning to all. So, the various ministries of the Philippines will be presenting an 8-minute video on sustainable agriculture entitled A Shift from Means of Survival to Food Security and Poverty Reduction. This covers the National Capital Region like Sariaya, Alitagtag, Tagaytay, Baguio, Legazpi, Pagadian, and Calilid in San Luis, Agusan del Sur. So please watch this.
Food security means having at all times physical and economic access to adequate food to address nutritional needs critical for a productive and healthy life. A family is food secure when its members enjoy freedom from hunger or the fear of hunger. Our overarching goal should be to increase the productivity and incomes of the least, the last, and the lost, while simultaneously establishing more sustainable and resilient food and agricultural systems. Also, food insecurity and hunger are, in most cases, not a problem of supply, but an issue of access. resulting to lack of physical access and social protection schemes. Food production is sufficient for everyone if only it was shared equitably.
It all started with the production of strawberry jam in 1953. Before long, the delicacy became a household name. Given that, the sisters decided to diversify their products, introducing Filipinos and foreigners alike to their other delectable and original treats such as peanut brittle, cashew crunch, ube jam, pickles, cookies, breads, and strawberry juice. As demand for their tasty creations grew steadily and sales were hitting all-time highs, the sisters realized that a more rewarding course of action in paying it forward is to channel earnings towards the establishment of a training center that would hire student workers and out-of-school youths in the Cordilleras. In this context, the Mountain Maid Training Center came into being. Supplying the raw materials such as ube, peanuts, and strawberries were farmers who subscribed to the sisters' commitment and effective strategy in developing superb products. Soon, the center became the preferred hub of economically disadvantaged yet deserving youths whose greatest wish is to clinch a college diploma. Through the Good Shepherd Student Workers Program, thousands saw that wish eventually fulfilled. It was not only through sending needful youth to school that the center proved invaluable to the community. For one, it promoted sustainable agriculture through its preferential use of indigenous materials. It also helped sustain the viability of small and medium enterprises, which resold the immensely popular products. Lastly, it practically gave many young girls a new reason to hope. On the matter of preserving the integrity of creation, the RGS in Baguio continues to render its share through its Laudato Si farm, where organic farming is the norm and vermiculture a productive undertaking.
Balay Paglaong sa Maayong Magbalantay Farm has a land area of 70,900 square meters, and it is located within the Manga watershed, one of the sources of water for the people of the city.
draws its unspeakable inspiration from the terrifying experience of the indigenous peoples, deceived of its vulnerability in various forms of deception, human trafficking, and illegal recruitment as they seek out employment. In time, Tuburan decisively opted as an alternative strategy from the marginalization of the indigenous peoples, the destruction of the environment, illegal mining activities, and the threat of large-scale mining that could operate in their ancestral domain. It is also a preventive strategy, advocating ecological justice through its reserved forest and sustainable agriculture. In the midst of a currently difficult life, it continues to give hope by empowering them in recognizing their unique contribution to our society, especially in this unparalleled age of consumerism and the perils brought about by climate emergency.
Heeding the bugle call to care for our common home, as Pope Francis eloquently underscored in Laudato Si in 2015, the Good Shepherd Home Legacy joined hands with a peasant-led network, magsasaka at siyentipiko para sa pag-unlad ng Agrikultura Incorporated, or Masipag, in upholding ecological justice. The partnership sought to promote sustainable agriculture through the efficient use of resources, effective biodiversity management, and sound agricultural production. Projected to benefit from this partnership are the farmers of Sitio Palpi in Buyo, Maanito, which since 2006 has been ground zero for the Good Shepherd Homes Microcredit and Business Enterprise Program. Said farmers then formed the Active Palpi Organic Farmers Association, or ACOFA, and joined Masipag, paving the way for their exposure to sustainable agriculture. Working tirelessly in their farm and putting into smart use the knowledge and technology taught to them by their fellow organic farmers, they soon reaped what they sowed. Their bountiful harvests became frequent talks of the town. In February 5, 2021, the farm was certified as having met the standards of the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movements.
The Good Shepherd Ecological Farms. In this time of pandemic, when health, economic, and the environment had been affected adversely, the Philippine province strengthens its program for the maximization of its farmlands for sustainable agriculture and economic empowerment. These farmlands were established to promote advocacies for the protection of Mother Earth, conservation of environment, and care for grass creation. In addition, the farms are also intended for ecological centers for learning and healing. This practice of farming is also the province's approach to ensure supply of organic food and to improve food production without being wasteful, not to mention the jobs generated for the farmers. It is our view that pursuing agricultural work and rearing livestock provide a more effective and environment-friendly means to reduce poverty and food insecurity.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Emmy. So thank you for Philippines team. The next presentation will be coming from India. What leads to sustainable agriculture, the good practice, rural farmer requirement. So everyone, please welcome Peter and Natisha from India.
Yeah, thank you. So now let us, from Philippines, let us move towards India. And this is a great opportunity given for us from the Good Shepherd Asia Pacific to have a flight service so we can move from country to country. So now let us move to India. This is Natisha from India. Very happy and excited part of this event. And I present to you the province of Central India, Nepal. And this presentation mainly focused on Shepherd Sisters in India, in particularly in the mission in Garatola. Garatola is one of the economic justice project site where the self-help groups are formed into cooperative society in order to have the better facilities of the microcredit schemes and also to have standard living through various small business activities. This presentation highlights on the good practices in sustainable agriculture in Garatola, voices of the women in the aspect of sustainable agriculture, and the way forward to meet the need of the rural farmers for better sustainable tomorrow. I request Teresa to just play the video.
Okay, the video is coming on.
This is from Philippines.
Food security means having at all times
This is
physical and
one? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the other one, India.
Sorry. Coming on. Here we are.
Good practices in sustainable agriculture and needs of rural farmers.
In the province of Central East India, Nepal, the Economic Justice Project runs in 4 sites: Garotola, Mulagalapalli, Mangalagiri and Amravati. In Garotola site, which is located in Balaghat district, Madhya Pradesh, we work with the tribal women where they mainly depend upon agriculture and vegetable cultivation. This agriculture becomes a source of their living. Through the initiative of Economic Justice Project, the women were formed as cooperative society, which is the source for the microcredit schemes.
Sustainable agriculture focuses on the long-term production of crops, keeping the balance between consumption and environment. It also includes water conservation, compost, and reducing soil erosion.
Good practices of sustainable agriculture. Timely loosening of soil. Traditional way of tilling the land. Dripping system. Use of modern technology. Using good compost manure. Sufficient water facility. Providing water outlet for cultivation.
Usage of organic fertilizer. Organic fertilizer helps to soften the soil and gives healthy and good produce. It reduces the damage to the crops and soil, and it is also environment friendly. Some of the organic fertilizer which are used by the rural farmers are cow dung compost, vermicompost, goat compost manure.
Types of cultivation: mustard seeds, chilies, grams, wheat, paddy and many seasonal crops.
Voice of the women on sustainable agriculture. We have 19 acres and few decimal of land. In this land, we cultivate crops of both the seasons, such as paddy, wheat, and cereals. We also cultivate mangoes, lychees, and banana fruits. We too cultivate different vegetables like potatoes, cauliflower, tomatoes, brinjals, chilies, coriander, and many more.
In this land, we cultivate 2 seasons paddy, that is rainy and summer season. We use traditional way of tilling the soil. We use only organic fertilizer like cow dung compost and and goat compost manure and timely provides the manure for the crops. This enables the crops to get good nourishment, good produce and healthy life. And we too encourage the other women to use the organic fertilizer.
I am Meera Tekam, the member of the Cooperative Society Garatolla. I purchased the potato seeds from the Cooperative Society. I only use the cow dung compost to cultivate the potatoes. Along with this, I too grow other vegetables like garlic, onions, chilies, tomatoes, corn, cauliflower. The produce is sufficient for the sustainability of my family.
Borewell facilities are taken up by the rural farmers in order to have better water facilities for the cultivation and march towards better sustainable living.
Way forward to produce good and healthy crops. To produce off-season fresh and organic vegetables. To have increase in produce. Using greenhouse system. To have happy living. Thank you everyone for watching the video presentation.
Thank you very much, Natisha and Peter from India. Very great work. So after this, we will present from Thailand. I will present a presentation. I cannot share the screen.
Hold on, I'll make you co-host. Hold on.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Saisuri.
Thank you. So right now we will go to the Thailand. The Good Shepherd Sister Thailand devoted to helping children, women, and vulnerable and marginalized groups and abuse victims from all forms of violence. We fight for economic justice, support for safe migration, anti-human trafficking, and ecology. We operate 6 sites in the major problem area, which are Bangkok, Phuket, Nong Khai, Chiang Mai, and Chiang Rai. With the experiences and the mercy heart willing to save all people in Thailand, not only Thai citizens, but also the migrants, minority group, foreigners, and stateless or no identity group. Sustainable agriculture is one of the activity themes that leads many kinds of support and help to the target group. The impact of sustainable agriculture on the economic and environment assists more than 3,000 beneficiaries, both direct and indirect, to have a better economy for their family and enough to raise their children. The main concept is the sufficient implementation and mixed agriculture style It means using the available resources to do the agriculture and create the food resources, incomes, and have a simple, happy life. Chiang Mai province shelter is in the northern part of Thailand. The main group that the provision of the shelter is the tribal minority, border, and the marginalized group that include the state-led or no identity group of people as well. The major problem is about the economic and education. Many pregnant women and the victim of gender-based violence came to us for help and have a better life by the support and provision of the wildflower home. There are many lives as the lady came to help at Wildflower Home and also said that this is the safe place for them and their children. Their children are go to school. Sorry, their children go to school and many are support from the Sustainable Agriculture Program from the Wildflower Home. The two sisters, Sister Lena and Sister Anurak, are the main guardian of the shelter. Sorry, I didn't make subtitle. I will said what the two sisters said. Hello, my name is Sister Lena. I work at the Y Home for more than 3 years. I moved from Chiang Rai province. My work is to take of the mother and their children as well as the other work. Now I will let Sister Anurak introduce herself and talk about the mothers and the provision to them.
Sorry.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Sister Anurak Chayapurk. I came to work here 8 years already at the Wildflower Home. Here we provide support to the women and children who face a crisis in life. For example, unwanted pregnancy, single mom or women, and children who get domestic violence. So basically, every year there are many women who came here to ask for help and wish to have a better life. Agriculture activity is one of the activity that help many mothers and children have a better life. The shelter teach them to cultivate vegetable, plant, and raise fish, pig, chicken, and dog. Okay. In the northeastern part of Thailand, Nong Khai province that near Lao border, Sister Prani and Sister Tutsisa are also bring the model of sustainable agriculture to support food security, economy, and the environment.
Excuse me, Kukai, is there a volume to this? Is there sound? Maybe you'd like to stop the presentation and go back to share screen and enable sound and video.
Stop share and then
Yes.
go
Go to screen sharing. Go to share screen, and then at the bottom of the share screen, you will see two small boxes, share video and share sound. Make sure you tick those two boxes at the bottom of share screen.
Oh, share sound.
Yeah, share
Sorry.
sound and share
Sorry.
video. Yes, and then you select your PowerPoint and start sharing again.
Sorry, everyone.
Yes. You put on slideshow.
Is that coming up, Teresa?
It's coming.
ส่วนด้านการเกษต
Very
ร
nice.
เราก็มีการวางแผนกับเจ้าหน้าที่ว่าเราจะทำไงที่จะช่วยกลุ่มผู้ป่วยนี้เขาสามารถที่จะทำงานอาชีพได้เพราะเขาไม่สามารถจะกลับไปทำงานอาชีพเดิมได้แต่อย่างน้อยการเกษตรอันที่หนึ่งก็คือเราฝึกสอนเขาเราทำเกษตรอินทรีย์ก็ฝึกเขาในการที่ตั้งแต่เริ่มต้นการเตรียมที่ดินอะไรต่างๆปลูกผักเกษตรอินทรีย์หนึ่งก็เป็นอาหารสำหรับกลุ่มผู้ป่วยเองแล้วเราก็เอาผักแม้แต่การเลี้ยงไก่นี่ก็ไปให้กลุ่มผู้ป่วยที่อยู่ตามบ้านด้วยเพราะฉะนั้นก็เป็นรถที่ว่าเกษตรอินทรีย์ของเราซึ่งเราเริ่มมา1 ปีแล้วมันก็ได้ผลพอสมควรคือผู้ป่วยเกิดความภูมิใจในการที่เขาผลิตผักปลูกผักอะไรต่างๆด้วยตัวเองแล้วก็ได้กินอาหารที่ปลอดภัยด้วยแล้วก็ที่เหลือเขาก็ไปขายคือผู้ป่วยก็จะฝึกในการขายเป็นการที่ว่าฝึกเขาวิชาชีพแล้วก็สอนเขาด้วยว่าเขาจะต้องหาตลาดขายส่วนด้านการเกษตร
So this project is really bring hope and new quality of life to the illness group of people, especially the homeless group. But Nong Khai doesn't have only this project. The Child and Youth Development Project support the vulnerable group of children by the education fee support and teach them vocational learning activity to the farming as well as their family and their community.
สวัสดีค่ะก็ที่นี่เป็นพื้นที่ของไร่พอเพียงนะคะคำว่าไร่พอเพียงนี้ก็เราทุกคนก็ทราบกันอยู่นะว่าการมีพออยู่พอกินนะคะทำไมเราถึงพูดถึงเรื่องนี้เพราะว่าทุกวันนี้ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างในโลกของเราเกิดผลกระทบจากเศรษฐกิจนะคะก็ในพื้นที่แห่งนี้เราก็ได้พยายามที่จะทำกิจกรรมในเรื่องของการเลี้ยงเป็ดเลี้ยงไก่เลี้ยงแพะนะคะแม้กระทั่งวัวควายเราก็มีนะคะเพื่ออะไรเพื่อให้เป็นตัวอย่างสำหรับชุมชนในการที่จะทำอาชีพให้เกิดความพอเพียงแล้วก็ที่สำคัญก็คือมีความยั่งยืนนะคะหลุดพ้นจากบ่วงโซ่ของความยากจนแล้วก็การขาดแคลนอาหารค่ะซึ่งทุกคนตื่นเช้ามาก็จะมีเขาเรียกว่าทรัพยากรมีอาหารนะคะที่จะสามารถป้อนให้กับครอบครัวได้ในทุกๆวันนะคะ
So Good Shepherd Thailand really focus on changing people's life to have well-being and happy life in their community. As mostly our target group are the people who came from the marginalized and border and also have a lot of crisis in life. The impact of sustainable agriculture activity really bring the people's life in a good and peaceful way. Since they do not only have food security, organic farm, safe environment, but also they have self-esteem, the value of life of living, and pass this love to others, same as the Good Shepherd Sister Thailand show their love through the project. Thank you. So for the next session, we will have the photo gallery introduction. So welcoming everyone to the photo gallery from the sustainable agriculture. So we have room 1 from Thailand, room 2 for India, and room 3 from Philippines. So this is the photo gallery from Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, as we also produce and recycle or use the organic farm. And this is from Nong Khai, Thailand. And this is from Bangkok and Pattaya from Thailand. And here is from India that we have the technology and farm for the women and people in community. And here is the crop that we have. Thank you. Okay, thank you for visit our photo gallery. And now we will welcome back everyone to the panel discussion, which is I will hand over to the Peter Lastrado from India. Hi, Peter.
Peter, please unmute.
Yes, I was waiting for the chief panelist today, but he has not yet entered. I don't know whether he has registered or not. Even I was trying to call him, but he did not respond. Okay, we will go ahead with our panel. Thank you so much, Amy, Neticia, and Kukai for taking us through the experiences of our programs in Philippines, India, and Thailand. It was a wonderful presentation of the work that is going on in the area of impact of sustainable agriculture on food security and poverty reduction. I take this opportunity to welcome our three panelists for today's discussion on the topic. Though the main panelist, expert, has not come, I'll just introduce him. In case he comes, we can take him on the panel. Dr. Kharbade, he's Associate Dean of College of Agriculture, Nandurbar in Maharashtra. He's an agricultural scientist and doctorate in agriculture. Since '96, he was associated from a professor to associate dean at present. Been guiding many PhD students and has in his name many awards: ASPWE Award, Lok Satta Agro Award, Agro Care Idol Award, Baliraja Krushi Sahitya Award, and Krushi Gaurav Award. He is also in many state and national committees related to agriculture and policies, and member of 5 professional associations. If he comes, we will be happy to have him, lucky to have his views. Secondly, we have Sister Arabella Balingao, religious sister of the Good Shepherd, Philippines. She is also a member of the leadership team in the unit of Philippines, Japan. She was very active in coordinating the advocacy efforts of the unit for women and for justice and peace and integrity. She was in charge of the farm and farmland development of the unit. Her passion for agriculture and environment has brought her to this panel. We welcome Sister Arabella on the panel. Sister Arabella. Yes. Our third panelist today is Sister Sutisha Uthalun. You just saw her during the presentation of Thailand. Sister Sutisha also belongs to Religious Sisters of the Good Shepherd and has been involved in child and youth development programs of the unit. She is also interested in agro-based activities to ensure livelihood for the poor communities in Thailand, especially the survivors of human trafficking and gender-based violence. Child protection and child safeguarding, along with food security for the community, is her area of interest. I welcome Sister Sutisha on the panel. Welcome, Sister.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
She is
everyone. Hello,
such
Peter.
a pleasant personality. When I went to Hong Kong last time for the training, and she was the person who everybody will look for to talk. Nice to have you, Sister.
Thank you, Peter.
Finally, we have Sister Pushpa, unit leader of Good Shepherd Central East India, Nepal province, who will sum up all the discussions and close today's session, the panel discussion. Sister Pushpa has been a grassroots level worker with the tribal population of Garatola, which the presentation Sister Nitisha just showed us. Sister Pushpa has so many years of experience with the tribals of Garatola, leading them towards various type of activities, including agriculture, watershed development, safe drinking water, and many others in her list. So welcome Sister Pushpa to this panel to summarize all the programs of the discussions of the panel. So we start with I welcome each of the participants to ask any questions that you would like to, any clarification and some lights from the panelists. But to begin with, I will begin from the first presentation, Sister Amy. My question will be, what is the impact of rising food prices in the market on the farmers or the producers? Does the rising price in the market have any much impact on the producers today? That is the main question which I would like to ask. Yes, Sister Arabella.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Peter. The impact of the rising of prices of food on the farmers and producers is really a reality that the farmers and producers really have to grapple with, and it increases the experience of really deprivation because they also need to buy all their own food before the harvest and the other materials they need, some of the materials they need for the cultivation of the farm. And even now that there is this pandemic, so many are not back in their work. Some are really struggling with meeting the needs of the family. And so it's aggravated by the rising prices of commodities. So in effect, it's really making them even poorer. And it affects also not just their economic life, but especially also their social life, because they will be bound to really just focus on meeting what they need. And the other things maybe is that some of the children in the families really cannot go further to school or to meet even the health needs of the members of the family. So those things are the effects of some of the things that really are seen in our people, in our co-workers in the farm. Thank you.
Yes, sister. To add that, your topic is a shift from survival to food security and poverty reduction. Is this shift for the producers very clear, visible, or not? That is our concern.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I think the matter here is also the time, no? Because it is the activities in the farm has to go also with the climate or the seasons, and so the shift to having supply, enough is still challenged among our farmers and producers, and it is not so clear at this time, at this point in time, because many are still doing the survival stage, are in the survival stage. And we are really hoping the reason also why we help them out in the development of the farm, like skills training too, and giving them other development, like learning and exposures to advanced technology in farming, so that they will be helped to transition from just the survival stage to the more or less stable economic condition. I hope I give light on that.
Yes, thank you, Sister Arabella. It is really the farmers have to still struggle to get their share of what they have invested in agriculture. So that is one of the points I think we have to still focus on, the prices to the producers. And there are so many initiatives in India also they are taking. The producers, farm producers groups they are promoting, so that the groups can, bargain for the prices which, reasonable for them, at least the minimum price for their production. Okay. Yes, sister, thank you so much. I have a question for Sister Nitisha, and I think Sister Pushpa also can join in answering that. This is a question on good practices. Now, to have good practices, I think government also should support equally. So my question is, how should government subsidies and agricultural policies evolve as climate change cripples farmers and the legislation? So how the policies and the agriculture support subsidies should evolve in supporting the farmers when the climate change is crippling them further and further. Sister Nitisha, if you are there, or Sister Pushpa, if you could.
I can share.
Yes, Sister Pushpa can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. The farmers, my experience, as Peter shared, I worked long years in Garatola project, 12 years, from the initial stages of our projects in this mission. So the farmers will be only depending upon the monsoon. If the monsoon is good, they used to get a good crop. Otherwise over too much rain or less rain. So there used to be sometime even famine in the lives of the tribal people. So that used to be the situation. Slowly, the government has so many policies and programs. Farmers to have sustainable agriculture. They give lots of trainings to the farmers, not only to the men, but also to the women. Through the different groups, they are being supported, giving them very much training for them to have improved agriculture. And these subsidies help them, like improved variety of seeds, agricultural small tools that they can make use, like for plowing, cutting. These kind of subsidies helps farmers to have a modern kind of farming. Otherwise, since they used to have only traditional, it used to be so much time consuming, and especially growing up paddy, it is too much labor cost is involved. But with the support of the implement these necessary tools from the government and subsidy for farmers, sometimes the way of the loans which they have taken for farming activities, it really supports the farmers to come up in life.
Thank you, sister. Yes, utilizing and getting information and accessing government subsidy schemes is one of the practice that rural farmers have to come into, and information and knowledge gathering has to be given primary in our works. Thank you so much for that. I have one more question. I'll come back afterwards. I have a question for Sister Sutisha. Sister Sutisha, the gross value addition, the gross value addition to the national GDP in all countries is very low from agricultural sector. So at this situation, does agriculture sector a significant sector in the national economy, or it doesn't play much role? What is your opinion?
Actually, this question is quite difficult for me.
Yes, I know.
So I feel. Could you please repeat again, Peter?
Yeah, the agricultural sector doesn't have a great impact on increasing national GDP. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then how does agriculture sector play a significant role in national economy of any country?
Uh, I see that the government, no, they try to help, but there is somehow it is like exporting or importing. So it depends on the price of how to say, the price of many other things that really support at the ground. And it's I see that the lives of the poor people still not really touch on the parts that's really well support, because
Yes.
the how to say, the middleman still the person who get the profit. And the government, they said they try their best to help the people, but somehow it's not covered and cannot really very helpful in that sense. And I think you throw the wrong question to a working woman, to a money things. So but anyway,
Since,
that's
yeah,
yeah, that's all
I,
I can say.
yes, yes. Since the topic was agriculture on economy and environment, so I thought maybe you could. So I will ask you a simple question. Farmers want to exploit all the available resources. Farmers want to exploit all the available resources, natural resources for agriculture, even without thinking of tomorrow or next generation. How can we address this issue which harms the sustainability aspects in agriculture? So, exploitation of all the resources. So, is it okay for you, or I go for another question?
I feel if somebody in the panel can also give a clear
Yes,
view
sister.
to our people, so will be good.
Sister Arabella, any light you can, because we are missed our the scientists.
Peter, pardon to just simply state once more the question.
Yes, pardon.
Yeah. Kindly just state once more. I got confused with I got stop
Yeah.
internet connection.
The farmers want to exploit all the natural resources available to them because the climate change, drought, and all impacts. So they want to exploit all the resources to produce food. So when you exploit all this, they don't think what is going to be tomorrow in store for us. How can we address this issue in our agricultural sector?
Yeah. There is really the tendency to do that, but I think one way to refrain or to solve that is really just to, we have the concept of giving alternative like provision for temporary provision of food that they need among our farmers. But hand in hand is the fact also that they have to be trained, they have to be given um, education, further education, so that they will know the interconnectedness of what is happening if they exploit all of this, and what could be the effect of that to the other aspects of the activities that they have to do there, especially destroying the main source of the livelihood of the life in the farm. So that also maybe getting help from other networks so that whatever is the need at hand will be responded to instead of exploiting so much of everything around them. So I think that only I can add this time.
Yes, sister. Thank you. Thank you, sister Sukesh. I see one hand raised, sister Alicia from Philippines, Japan. So please.
Yes, thank you, Peter. And thank you, everyone, for all the presentation. I would just like to, I have been doing some, answering some questions in the chat box, and I just cannot resist raising my hand this time with your question, because when we are into sustainable agriculture, farmers had the first at resistance, because they are used to using the chemical fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides. But before they go into the actual organic and sustainable agriculture, there's really the change of mindset. And I think lucky for us in the Philippines, and I think even in other parts of the world, even the government is proposing already doing the program of sustainable agriculture. So we are leaving behind all these chemical components already. So there's that wider spread of teaching our farmers to go into sustainable agriculture. And once they do that, they find the benefits, like they don't have to put in big capital for farm inputs like fertilizers and all the other chemicals that they have to buy. But using all the other raw materials there, using composting, even the mulching, vermicompost mulching, and even using the dung, the manure, to use as fertilizer and herbicide. And even our Department of Agriculture are teaching farmers already how to do this, the liquid fermented fruit juice that can be used as fertilizers and pesticides. So there's the change of mindset. So and in all our farms, all our farmers are experiencing that. And they, when you talk with them, they are saying like they have enough food, and these are healthy food, the farm produce that they get, without all these buying these chemical components. And then so they have less capital input and bigger farm produce, healthier farm produce, and they are able to they have enough for them, and they can share it with others, and they can sell it. Like in that ACOPA thing, the group that is partnering with Masipag, they are not supposed to sell, but really for food sustainability. So if there's one house who has enough, they can share it to their neighbors. So the whole community will experience food sustainability, and that will also increase the awareness of the whole community of the neighborhood. So all farmers the transfer of technology will move from one family to the other, so that the rest of the community will do that sustainable agriculture. That's the beauty of these things, because if one farm is doing sustainable agriculture and another farm is using chemical, the farm that is not using chemical will be affected. So that's part of the process, and that's part of the advocacy that we are doing. I think that's what I want to add. Thank you, Peter, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Alicia. That is a very important point, which in India also we are trying this to introduce, because the food production and human health has got direct relationship, and increasing chemical fertilizers and chemical pest control methods harming the human health of the people. So we need to have certain balance considering human health. As you spoke, the organic farming, organic method of product production, these are all very important. Even some people, some places in government of India also is supporting the organic producers, and they are good in market, and people are buying them. I saw one hand from Sister Hilda.
Yes, Peter.
Yes.
Yes,
good
Sister morning
Hilda.
to all.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
actually, I agree with Alicia. Actually, when we look at the farmers, especially I'm talking about India, you might have heard about the farmer strike is going on. They are not considered. There are sort of lot of other issues are there, but mainly when we look at the farmers, uh, we can say that they are not taken care or by the government, because if government take care of them, I don't think so they even use this kind of fertilizers or chemicals, because they are very often not even able to produce the seeds from their own crop. Each time they have to buy from the government the seeds. Earlier it was not like that, because I remember even in my childhood we had a lot of paddy field, and each crop we have our own the seeds for the next I mean harvest, I mean next crop. But these days we can't get even seeds from the any crop. Every time the farmers depends on the local government or panchayat or whatever it may be. It is a system which has been created. So and not only that, whatever crop they make, it doesn't, they are not able to sell by themselves, as it is called the middleman, the government, and there is again a lot of other segregations. Lot of corruptions are taking place in between. So the finally the victims are the farmers. I mean, they are not getting it. So what can be done if the government focus on, if I mean ultimately, okay, each individual, I myself, I do certain things even in my own little place, whatever I can do it, like making the biocompost with all the dry leaves and even that rice water, all kind of things I do make it within a small scale. But this is hectares of land. If government is not supporting, how these farmers will able to produce the healthy and organic food, or the vegetarian vegetables or food grains. It is not possible nowadays. Everything is like a instant. Even I saw yesterday in a WhatsApp one watermelon. It is somebody bought it and they can peel out the skin of the watermelon, that very green color, dark green, looks very fresh. They can just peel out. It is like a paint. It is a paint. They have painted green paint to show that it is a fresh watermelon. So this is what things are happening. Everything is like a duplicate. Nothing is organic. So I personally feel, okay, each individual need to take care of it, but ultimately the government one who has to take the initiative and bring forth this kind of steps to bring to save the earth. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sister Hilda. That's the reality. I also experienced once in Delhi a big farmer growing cabbage and using so much of pesticide. And I asked him, this will affect the health of the people. So are you aware of it? He said, for my family, I am growing separately with organic. This is goes to Delhi market. So are you not
And
bothered about the lives?
Peter, and near to our house there is a one market. All banana comes like a. It is not even matured bananas. It's like big bunches. They come bring it here and they put one kind of powder on it so that it ripe it.
It ripes fast.
I mean,
Yes.
I have seen it with my own eyes. It come from different states. It come over here. It's like a big mandi, like big one go down type it is, and they keep all this big banana bunch, which is looks very not even mature. Not, I mean, they have cut before it could get ready, and they sprinkle this powder, and within a day it's all very nice, sweet, ripened bananas. So this is what is reality happening. I mean, I don't know how to go about it, which food to buy, which things to be to eaten, because it is like slowing poison we are eating every day.
Yes. Thank you, Sister Hilda, for that
Thank you.
sharing. I put the panel open if anybody has any questions or any clarifications or any addition to the presentations country-wise. Before that, I would like to ask Sister Nitisha and Amy, is the photo gallery presented as you had prepared, or is there anything you are going to present?
I think from the Philippines, if there is a time, we can present the photo gallery.
Yes.
If there is still a time.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
from
same to India
Nitisha,
also. We have prepared.
yeah. So we have
Yes, we also have prepared.
we have another 15 minutes to go. If there are any questions, any clarifications, I will wait for 1 minute and then we go for the photo gallery.
There are
Some
several
questions are there in the
questions
chat
in the
box.
chat box.
The
Yeah.
chat box.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I'll go one by one.
Peter, I just
yeah.
would like to share, in my part in Thailand, what we have been doing. So, like we are following up the King Rama the Ninth philosophy and his really intention for Thai people for sufficiency agriculture, no? So we every part really Good Shepherd is bringing about doing this agriculture non-chemical, no? So in every community we are doing that, and well, one sister touched on the changing mindset. I feel like this we coming up for some years already, that we have taking the lead to our people to let them see that this organic farming is not only good for their own family, for their health, and also for the community. So this in all communities in Thailand that we are trying to do this, and somehow groups of people, of our people, are following and trying to do. It's not yet 100%, but it's on the way, and that's really big support on this agriculture, non-chemical farming, and each family, of course, nowadays they get infected with pandemic. Many families, they have not enough, but they are trying and starting to do in their own family. And I trust that this event or this agriculture to help our people. So it's on the way, and I really see that the coming future, that our people also will have good health.
Thank you, Sister Susita.
Yeah.
I have
Thank
one
you.
hand up there, Teresa.
Yes, I just want to thank all the panelists for what they have shared. And what's coming through very clearly is that on the ground, people are very aware of sustainable agriculture, but how do we scale it up so that that whole equity is shared evenly, no? Is shared across everyone who's involved. And it seems to me like we need to be able to look at our programs one step further, no? And say, how do we look at sales? How do we help our program participants to look at how do they sell directly, and avoid middlemen? How do we engage with the systems that are within the agriculture sector? Because the agriculture sector is an ecosystem by itself, involving businesses, involving the government, and rightly so, involving education, even at starting from school level. So I just want to share that GSIF in Africa and Rimowa and in Latin America, we do have programs on sustainable agriculture and how to assist the women to sell directly, to form cooperatives and to, enlarge their own agency in negotiating with direct buyers. So if Asia Pacific is ready, let's form a community of practice of people who are engaged in agriculture, of units that are engaged in agriculture, and let's come together to study together what we can do, because we are all at different levels of political, socio-economic environments in all our different countries. But in every country, every government is committed as duty bearers to ensure that there's food security. for their respective countries. So I just want to offer this and put it out, into the audience for further thought and further thinking.
Thank you, Teresa. Already there are thumbs up. This idea is very good. I think since we are also involved in a country like India, more than 70% population is engaged in agriculture. I think we should have, and wherever we are involved, we should promote this. So there is one comment from Sister Nanette from Philippines. If that happens, it is our mission to bring those farmers back to the basic spirituality of stewardship. Our mission as GS people is accompanying our dear farmers. That is a wonderful comment. Yes, if we are really working for sustainable agriculture and secure food security and the poverty reduction, we should be able to accompany the farmers. There is one question from Jenry from Australia. Do you have farmers markets so they can sell their own products rather than going through a middleman? So any panelist or anybody who is present can answer this. Do you have farmers markets?
I would like to.
Yes, Marijay.
In Korea, we have a credit union of Catholic. We support the people who are the agriculture, the eco agriculture, the people. Most of them are Catholic. And the Catholic credit union is the one organized the direct, to receive the fruits, the result of the agriculture production, and to direct to sell. So it's a less interruption. So we already systematically doing, but compared to the other product, this credit union production is a little expensive. So people are not, actually they know this production is very good because ecosystem production, but because of the price, is sometimes reluctant to come to buy it. But we have this system in Korea.
We have two hands raised up. First, Sister Pushpa, and then Jenry. Sister Pushpa.
This is answering to Jenry. Instead of farmers selling their product to the middleman, in India we have a system like there is a market. Government buys farmers product in different districts or different. They have farmers union, but the struggle that is going on in India, we had 3 farm laws against the farmers, but somehow in our parliament it has been withdrawn. So the farmers are asking for minimum support price. Even the government buys in a very cheaper rate, and they are now trying to give it to the cooperative sectors so that they can earn more and more money. So still the struggle is going on. So farmers union has to work together to get we say like a MSP, minimum support price, so that the labor they put in, they should get their right price. That's what the struggle is still going on. We do have our farmers union and they sell their product through different markets, but it has to be done in a proper way. We are still struggling and working towards it.
Yes, sister, that is a very, a recent introduction in Indian agriculture system. But the problem is the corporate sector can fix the price even before the crop is started growing. And if the prices fall, they will give the fallen prices. If the prices rise, they will give what the prices are fixed. That's a contract signed between farmers and corporate sector. This again, farmers are going to lose. So we need to, work with the farmers and see how this system works. Yes, Jenry.
Oh, thank you so much, Peter, and thank you to everybody. It's wonderful sharing. And thank you for the answers to my question. I just wanted to explain or express a little further what I meant. I guess every country has different political setups, but this may not apply everywhere. But I know in Australia, although Good Shepherd itself is not engaged in food production. We have people in our communities who are at themselves, have little mini farms, and there are what we call community markets. So, for example, on the site, the Good Shepherd Convent, which was the Good Shepherd Convent, it's now a community space. People are invited to just come with their products and set up a stall, and they charge the price they want to charge, you know, for the food they might have. So there are lots of, in different communities, towns, villages, whatever you call it, these opportunities to set up, and somebody organises it, somebody in the community organises it, and they just find some land which is either could be owned by Good Shepherd. You have lots of large community places, you know, where people can just come and set up their stall, and they can charge whatever they like. So it's not even organised through a union or a credit society. So they're called farmers markets, and they're very popular because the other thing that happens is that by having the local farmers sell in their local community and around, you also minimise the transport costs, etc. So that's another environmentally practical thing as well, that we don't have haulage for taking things to a further distance. But I just thought I'd share that with you, and thank you so much for responding to my question. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Gentry. Sutisa, yeah, I see your hand.
Yes, Peter and everyone. So in terms of here, I am very happy to hear people talking about a big picture of our people, our farmers who are producing their crops and give to the market. But here in Thailand, I speak about our poor people who live, and especially like the share that Sister Prani shared this morning, that she worked with HIV patients, and that this agriculture that she helped them so that they will be able to produce enough for themselves, and that's you know, what they produce, not only enough for themselves, but just enough for the community also where they live. So it's not yet reaching out to that really very, very big market like different countries that mentioned before. So, you know, food security, what we are doing now is that's really focusing with our poor people, our women, our children who are really poor. So for that big market, you know, that's people, they have capacity, they have, you know, quite support already in their families or in their business. But this is not about that big business. So this is really about small people in the community that really able to live and have food enough every day in their pots and pans. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sutisa. That is one of the important aspects that we said survival. Food security is must for the producers. Sister Arabella, I saw your hand.
Yes, I just want to share also regarding the concern of the harvest of produce. In other parts of our country, they have these cooperatives and farmers union, but in our circle as Good Shepherd people, some of our, mostly our consumers of our products, at least we are happy that if we are producing this organic food, we first of all have to make it sure that it will be benefited by our own, at least farmers, family of our farmers, our staff, our partners in mission, the other communities, Good Shepherd communities, and other congregations nearby, our shelters, so that our program participants will also have the organic food, and our benefactors. And so we usually, that's what we do, and we can also put up our own prices, you know, for the products. But the problem really is when we have the bulk of harvest, which is too much for all of us, no? That's the time that we have to bring them to the middleman, as they say, because in the market, they usually do not just accept you individually just to put up you put your store of the products there. So you have to really come through a middleman. So that is also one of our concerns, that how can we how can we as promoters or farming are doing the sustainable agriculture, organic farming, put up something like that, so that more and more people will be aware that there is such thing. Because sometimes people just want to buy the food in the market that are lesser in price compared to the organic products. And I wish that as Asia Pacific, for example, like what Teresa was suggesting, one form already had been done in making us all aware about our sustainable agriculture. This meeting now is one step to that. And I think some more meetings will be done so that we can draw programs. We can all together think of how we improve our, not only the farming itself, but also especially the selling of our products, because that is a big concern for us. Recently, we had plenty of this pet chai that we had. No, it's really a bulk, but this perishable food really has to be sold immediately. So if the problem is the market, then really we have to look into this, because the government in the Philippines, for example, has a tight requirements in selling your own products. Just to cite an example, in one of our residences, we are producing also organic food, but because we cannot consume all, we want to sell it in the neighborhood, but even the barangay said that we need to ask permission to be able to put out our product even just along the streets in our own gates. So those are the concerns, those are big problems for us producing this good food, but it's not being accepted or even welcomed well by the government, because it's really people, they think that it's more expensive than what they can buy in the market, the regular ones. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Arabella. That is very true that, initially the organic food prices are more than the other food prices, so people may not go. We have Sister Anurag. We saw her in the presentation. Sister Anurag, are you there, sister?
Or I'm sorry,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, so I apologize for closing the camera. No? So I want to add more to Sister Sutisa, because we have the King Ramadan who raised the quality of the food in Thailand, and the farmers and the poor. He said this is a way to overcome the poverty. One way, you go back to the soil, to the land, to the ground, Mother Earth, no, and cultivate and give love to Mother Earth. No need to put chemical, because chemical destroy and make Mother Earth, hurt Mother Earth. And I think we live next to the research center for culture, and they do a lot about non-organic vegetable and environment in a spiritual way also, and they include the young one to change their mind and their thinking, so that the life of the people will change. And as we all know, that because of sickness come from chemical, cancer and all that, especially to the women and children and pregnant women, when they spray. Okay, and another thing, and during the pandemic, we use a lot of herbs, the plants to make medicine to cure the COVID-19, and it works. But government do not promote this. They use the what do you call that, the vaccine, but which I am not also, but I agree to use that God give us, to the plants, to the herbs, and it works very well, I say, And the other thing, creativity for the plantation, we have many successful farmers and gardeners. For example, one man, he put jackfruit in the bottle. You know, it's amazing, and it costs maybe $200-300 for one fruit. He put the bottle. He put the jackfruit in the bottle when the jackfruit was small. You know, it become bigger, so it become the bottle shape, or even durian. You know, so it's kind of creativity to make it's fun, and it raises the quality of the food, not only like, oh, okay, but it not only security, but also for the medicine, you know, for healing. So I want to add this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, it has got a lot of impact on the health of the people. And we have one more hand, that would be the last hand, that is Sister Kala.
So thank you, Peter. I would just like to share, even our country, India lives in villages. We say that because most of the people, indigenous people, they own a lot of land. But because lack of irrigation facilities and because of the market, less prices for the produce, people go for migration. They leave the land and go for migration. So this is same in the case of even our own EJ area where we have in Garatola, Malagalapalli. Also, people own lot of land. And so I think, as Teresa has said, it is a priority for us to list out, like to work on this sustainable agriculture little more. We need to put little more effort to know what is the, what can be done to make these people, make use of the land. And also there are a lot of government schemes, especially for sustainable agriculture. So we can make use of the government schemes. Even Amaravati, Mangalagiri also, though people don't have land, they take on lease little land and they do cultivation. So I think it is important for us from our EJ project that to take this aspect more forward, and we need to do little more study and how we can make the people to be more sustainable on agriculture.
Yeah. Thank you, Sister Kala. Yes, that should be our focus on. Yeah. There are very good reflections and comments coming in the chat box. I would like Amy, if you could read some of them, very important ones. One thing is, you see, I love the sharing the audience. Thank you for all your interaction. Such an engagement audience. There is a Siman, she comments. Very good interaction and good. And I think, if we go on and this, at least 4 hours, we can go on this topic. It's a very interesting and relevant topic for us. So Amy will read some of the very interesting comments.
Okay. From Sister Nanette, hope we as Good Shepherd people could find ways in helping for organic foods to be affordable, lobbying with the prices, etc. Okay, and who else? AC. In Thailand, Bicol Community Enterprise, this is from Kukay, I think, which can get support from the government budget to establish the
Lost.
Yeah, I think she's first
of the farming process
okay.
and also ensure the food security in farming families.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. One comment from Kukay, I like it. Food is equal to good medicine is equal to healthy. No, the food that we consume should be, such a nutritious and healthy food that we should be, healthy. We should not go for it. That is a very good concept. Yes, I think we are already crossing. I would like to, if everybody is okay, I would like to request Sister Pushpa to conclude this panel session. Sister Pushpa.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Teresa and organizing team for this beautiful program, the CSW65 on sustainable agriculture. Thank you for Emmy, Seisuri, Peter Nitisia, for sharing a beautiful presentation on each one's different realities on sustainable agriculture, and the panelist speakers, Arabella and Sutisa. It was very thought-provoking and very inspiring, your presentation as well as the panelists sharing. Also the audience share very fully they involved and engaged. Like I had the opportunity of visiting Philippines Baguio Center, and I saw so many young girls and boys were employed in that center. And through this program, so many farmers are being supported to buy the produce in the center, and thus preventing migration and human trafficking. Beautiful program, Philippines and Japan province, and Central East India, Nepal, about sustainable agriculture. As I said, I worked in that area many years. Beginning, they used to depend only on the rain, and they keep the products only for their consumption. They never used to sell the product because they don't know next year there will be enough rain. So through different developmental scheme, land leveling program, watershed program, now they are able to take a second crop, grow vegetable garden, so that slowly the food security is being created. Thank you, Nitisia and team. And Thailand, that beautiful presentation, having that agricultural activities, especially the girls and women in our center. It's really a healing process by doing agriculture, very much close to the Mother Earth and healing. Thank you for all your valuable sharing. And as Teresa very well said, in our economic justice program, the different places where our MDO program is being started, we must organize the farmers more and more, having encourage and support them to have separate farmers market, use compost and vermicompost manure. Many commented in the chat box that organic vegetables are very, very expensive. It is all used from our kitchen waste, the dry leaves, the organic, the compost manure is made. So it can be easily made, the manure, and make available these vegetables to everyone. So it is for very much good health. So all these programs should gear towards food security and sustainable agriculture and reduce poverty, so that our program participants have that food security. And we are very rightly responding to our Pope's encyclical Laudate Si, having love for our common home and not to exploit the land, use this kind of manure so that we can sustain our land instead of using chemical fertilizers. So altogether, it's only we have just begun this. We will continue to explore the different possibilities, how we can support our farmers to have that food security and sustainable agriculture. Once again, thank you everyone, all the participants, all the organizers, presenters and the panelists for this initiative that we have taken today. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Pushpa. One more aspect also, as we go ahead, we have to think on the gender aspect. You know, in India, agriculture, mostly we think of men. How women be the contributors in this sector, and more than men, they have been contributing. So we have to also keep, since the topic is CSW66, we should be thinking on that and promoting that more and more. So thank you all the panelists for all the discussions. And now I would request Saisuri. I think we need to go through the photo gallery a little bit because they have prepared so well. Sister Teresa, I think you will be sharing the photo gallery, and maybe 5 minutes we'll see the photographs. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Peter. I will share the first photo gallery. And this is from India.
Teresa, you mute.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you, Marie Jean. Thank you so much to India for the photo gallery. I really like the way you've brought the women into the forefront. And now let's look at the photo gallery from the Philippines. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Peter. Over to you, Peter.
Yeah, I hand over to Saisri Kokai to conclude this program.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Teresa, and thank you, everyone. Thank you for Dr. Pushpa for closing for us. And this event will not happen if not don't have everyone joining with us. We are so grateful for this panel, this event for CSW66, and we wish that we will empowering more for women and children. And please have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.